Welcome to episode 23 of the R.S.B, the Real Sports Brothers. Tonight's show, Feel Away, as we covered what's going on with the NFL coaches. The coaching came to the end, and there was actually no minority coaches hired. We furrowed our brow at the least, and texts were sent. The NBA trades went by. Myrick also felt a way about James Harden heading to Cleveland, and girlfriend Garland headed back to the Clippers. And Cy also did not get to come on and gloat about his Knicks, who have been playing quite well lately. So he felt a way about not being able to speak on them. And also, we will do a refresher over our Super Bowl predictions. So that might have someone feeling away if anybody went away from the AFC, away from the NFC as a champion. Also, the NFL, I know I feel away proud of our show as we continue to stay ahead of takes. And although I won't overdo this, but a lot of the awards kind of went along with what we had picked. So we stay trending ahead of the times with our topics, trends, and thoughts. Last thing. Guys, I want to inform you recently, Cy, you didn't get yours in, so you might feel different as you pay a lot closer to high school ball than some of us. But we had to take just saying all in the end, we put Cooper Flag directly up under LeBron. And it turns out we only did that because we're ignorant and he was white. I clearly broke down his handles. I broke down his athleticism. I broke down his passing. None of that mattered. They said the stats said I'm stupid and that I'm basically am I biased. So with that said, Sai, you've seen them both. You watch a lot of high school ball. Also, we took into account the state of where the NBA is and how they play defense. When you watch these games, like I was like, basically, me and you, I thought me and no, it was me and Andre had discussed. And what it turns out, what will give you food for thought is this: I basically put him as a more athletic Keith Van Horn. Is kind of where we ended up grading him. But like I said, in essence, we made him the second best. Myra came in later and reminded me Boozer. Boozer also is 18. I tried to find some others, but they were 19, so I wanted to stay on topic because Jamal Mashburn even said he put, but that kind of changed it from the 18. But he had five players, freshmen that he picked above him. The only one I didn't like was Bunsa. But go ahead. What do you think, real quick? Actually, we'll save that for the NBA segment. We'll save that for the NBA segment. Let you think about that. Real quick, Myrick, we'll let you jump out there first. You were in Travell, so you can go on your own ideas. But you and Travell really felt a way about the NFL coordinators. Go ahead and give your thoughts, and I'll jump in.
All right. So as everybody knows, big headline coming out of NFL besides the Super Bowl was, hey, okay, the coaching carousel is over with. Everybody's pretty much picked their coaches. They've got the teams. Everybody's where they're supposed to be. Look at it. No black. No black coordinators, or one black coordinator who's already been there, and no black head coaches. So here we are again. It's coming up again and again and again. And it seemed like we were trending up with guys getting a chance, different people getting a chance, different guys getting a chance, and it was looking good. Had an eye on it, and everything was looking okay. So, what we're discussing off camera are these trees, coaching trees, and every head coach has a specific tree they like, and then guys grow up through this tree, which is just like any other job or any other business. You hopefully you have some kind of way where you can get promoted, or you're looking and you have a mentor, and then you get into these positions. So all that aside is all that besides, we have to, we don't like talking about things just to talk about them. There has to be something done, obviously. Roger Goodell announced that he's going to reevaluate the hiring process. I don't think that's going to make an impact, because I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is twofold. um, It's an ownership. I think it's an owner's problem. If you look
For
at it from an
sure.
owner point, I think the owners have a lot, heavy-handed, lot to do with who gets picked, where they go, and who they want on their teams.
Yeah.
So, and it may not be the best fit, but it's just what they want for their team and
Yeah.
the aesthetic they want for their team and what it's going to do for them, what they want on their team.
To jump in perfectly to for me to think to add on to what you're saying is this. Let's say I'm one of these progressive owners, at least in thought, even if I'm an old fogey. And this comes across my table and I had one of these openings because it was right there. It would have been even in vogue for me to tell my GM, I don't care where you get him from, I don't care what it costs, but get me the best of the best. Find out, go see what's going on with Leftwich to get him out of his contract, or somebody who I know has a pedigree of calling some plays, or has a progressive mindset in his play calling, or an uh, a new idea in play calling that we can bring out here. So that I'm not looking crazy, because I'm not going to be like these other guys following the old way. Go ahead.
So it's twofold. You got owners, and then you've got ex quarterbacks. It's gonna be on these ex quarterbacks. It's gonna be on maybe a running back, maybe a very very skilled wide receiver, a la Jerry Rice, that can he can see things. These super analytical guys that were, when they were on the field, saw the game different.
Yeah.
How do you get those guys in those coordinator positions?
Hmm.
And that's what we have to figure out. How you figure it out, I don't know. I
Where's
don't have.
Randall L at? He seems like he been on the side, like that dude been around on the sidelines
He
for a
has
while,
been on
about
it, and
5
you're
years
right.
ago,
you
and he
you
should
bring
be
up
that
a
type of dude.
you bring up a good point. There are these guys that have been on the sidelines since they, it might not have panned out in the NFL, but for whatever reason they went to the sideline, and you hear their name called. You're like, hey, that's Randall Well.
Mhm.
He's doing this, he's doing that. So why hasn't, like you said, Randall L got a chance to, if he's been there 10 years, and you telling me you haven't picked up any skills, then why is this guy on your coaching staff if he hasn't progressed to the point of, maybe I'll look at him, from the inside as an old coordinator.
Yeah.
So how do you get how do we, meaning the African American black coach, or the that are on the coaching staff,
KUchat
make enough
State.
noise to get noticed? Like, hey, I've been, hey man, I don't know if these conversations are happening. Like, hey man, I've been here, I've been doing this, I'm doing that. I've come to you with proven statistics. Every wide receiver I've gotten hasn't fell below this. Every running back I've coached hasn't fell below this. I'm consistently there. I can do this. Give me a shot. How do those guys get in there? And that, I think that's where we're at. How to figure out how to make it fair.
Yeah. Si, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
So, it's a long road, right? We talk about these trees. Like McVay and all these guys. These guys were what? College, low-level college quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
They get these early jobs doing something in the league. Um, and then they come up and they bring up young guys who were kind of like them as far as low-level college quarterbacks and people with minds and stuff like that. I, I find it hard to believe there's no low-level college quarterbacks um, from the black community that can do the same thing.
Yeah.
They're not getting that opportunity um, like the other ones are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of,
Yeah.
it's kind of way lower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, that they there's nobody looking out for them. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Some ex college coach that they had. It when we talk about a tree, that root goes real deep to me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I'm having a hard time thinking about old NFL quarterbacks and why aren't they doing stuff. I think about Randall Cunningham, Warren Moon, all these guys that aren't coaches, aren't doing anything. You know what I mean? Even
Yeah.
Leftwich is at Colorado, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He went from, remember, he was there, he didn't get along with Tom Brady. And so he ended up leaving. Not in a bad way, because the coach loved him. Everybody loved him. It's just it was one of those things where him and Tom Brady kind of didn't go, and he ended up getting the blame.
Right. And then as far as we don't get a chance to be retreads like they
There we
do.
go. Yeah, that was thinking
You,
that too. When
you
we
know what I'm
look at
saying?
that
Like,
list of
yeah.
Harbaugh, McCarthy, Robert Saleh, who is at least a minority, it works for you.
Yeah, I mean, what's his name from the Browns? Like, soon as he got let go from the Browns,
Stefanski.
yeah, they're like, he's the hottest coach on the market. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Well, what's that about? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But Raheem Morris, you know, it's like go back and be a coordinator or a position coach somewhere.
Yep.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He just got hired in San Francisco, right? I think.
Yeah, quick. Like they'll, and that's the thing. I'm also with you, man. You can, like you said, we talked. The jobs are there. See, that's where they get caught up talking about. Well, the jobs are there, yeah, but it's not. It's not the right one. It's not. It's not the offense coordinator. It's not the head coach. It's not the positions that matter. That are going to have, once again, like we said, these trees and these trickle down effects. If
Right.
if these up and comings, like this list is actually from 2024. As it turns out, like Myra already said, there's only one in the NFL, and there's about 10% in Division One right now. As of 24, Sharon Moore, who obviously recently got in trouble, is out, so he's off the list. There's Casey Dunn, who was an offensive coordinator, receiver coach at Oklahoma State. Don't know if that new regime, if he's out. Chad Scott at West Virginia is the offense coordinator. Local Nate Shieldhouse, who turns out he's like Logic, as everybody found out recently. He was the offense coordinator and ex coach at Illinois and locally. Josh Gaddis, a former Royals Award winner, he is at Maryland/Miami. Um, Garrick McGee from Florida and Illinois. He says he's an experienced coordinator. And then Brian Johnson, who served as offense coordinator. He is the most popular name. I remember Brian Johnson as a rag arm quarterback from Utah back in the day. So he also, I don't think Brian Johnson is that old if we look him up. But he is
Hmm.
the hottest name that I know of. But yeah, I I don't I don't know, but I know when I look at it, it looks like the offense coordinator is the position that we need to be looking at. It what's in vogue now. I think I would be pushing my guys to go towards do that. Obviously you want to start as a skill position wherever you can get on at, but you need to start working on your plays. You need to start working on making these connections with these people. If you're a West Coast guy, we remember a lot of entertainment, a lot of this stuff is who you know. I always, you can be who you are, but you still like unless you're, mad dogging, writing up your own plays and all that, which obviously, might not be happening with black quarterbacks. We know this. You have a style you like,
Right.
and so why not get find a coaching position under one of these, learn that playbook, so that way at least I know how to use these plays. I know how to tinker around with these plays with whether I like faster receivers or more possession receivers, and I know which plays work in that because I understand the timing as a quarterback and what it takes to get open and blah blah blah. I work
Right.
hand in hand with offensive linemen and running backs, so the rest will trickle down. So to me, the flaw is in the play calling. So, the play calling and the play design. So that's where I would, really start working at with. Um,
Yeah. I think, and when you get a coaching position in the league, a head coach, right?
mhm.
A lot of these guys come up because that head coach hires interns and video guys and all
His
that.
people.
Yeah.
Do they get to hire their people?
Yeah.
Like, besides Mike Tomlin, has anyone ever been able to, or Tony Dungy, just go and be able to
Success. I
hire their people?
I think fairly success is going to have to do that. Now, if you're a hot name and you get in there, I think all bets are off. You get to do status quo. You get to bring in your folks because you're a new guy on the block. But I think when you get hired as one of these defensive guys,
Right.
we would have to pay attention to who like old boy down there in Houston and some of these other guys have when they were head coaches to see what their coordinators look like. You know what I mean? Because to
Right.
me,
Because like
that's
I
their
bet
obligation.
I bet they hire um when they hire when Aaron Glenn hires offensive coordinator, right? His coordinator gets to hire his people.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Instead of
remember, that's not his
Yep.
specialty.
Yep.
So
right.
and I don't know what to do with that. I
Gotcha.
like because like when I think about it, if we put ourselves in those shoes, well, that's what makes sense to you. You know, if you say, "Si, we took it to basketball," you always seem like more of a guard oriented guy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So you obviously you know how to play basketball all the way around. You've done coaching yourself, but you might want somebody else talking to your big man, at least if you're trying a little more balanced old school with new school ball to where at least they got some down low fundamentals. You know what I mean? So
Right.
to me, you're not even worried about like when you have excuse me, not coach, but practice, yeah, you guys all come together, but when you break down skill position, you ain't even need to ask him what he's doing
Yeah.
because you trust him.
My big man coach got the big guy. Yeah. Yeah.
And there's that trust. So you're not, you know what I'm saying? So we just need to know, we say we got to be a one-stop shop for now. You know what I mean? To me, that's a collective thing. I can't, sorry, my guy. I gotta hit these high schools up and just find out. And to me, it's so easy to do. Like it's called a resume. Where were you at? Okay, where were their record this year? All right, well there we go. What was their offensive ranked in high school? If you go Division 1, once again, Monty, even I learned from Monty, all that stuff's easy to figure out what the rankings are. So, you just have to do your due diligence after that and putting yourself in a winning state. But
Yeah.
but yeah, it's not open and shutting. In the end, they've got to do the right thing. Rule number one is they always have to do the right thing, and after
Right
that,
thing. Yep.
we've got
That's
to
where it
we've got to
starts.
be progressive. We've always got to be. If we're, I'm not going to say we always got to work uphill and then say we shouldn't be progressive. That's never going to work hand in hand. And maybe
Right.
I'm just too stupid. So anyway,
Right.
cool. So yeah, do better, NFL. Do better. All
Yeah.
right,
For sure.
NBA trades have went down. We'll go to you first, Cy. But Myrick, I want to take note, Cy. We want to go over this Harden trade, so I need your thoughts on that first, and then if you have anything for Golden State's moves or Boston or just any other moves that you thought should have had or didn't had, you can go over that. But real quick, what do you think about Garland? Who I want some food for thought. The past 2 years, including this year, Garland has been missing a lot of time with a mysterious foot injury they're still trying to figure out, and he's only played half the season up till now. James Harden, as long as we're talking about only this year, because we know at his age and the way he does things, any year the wheels could fall off. If Cleveland said this is a win now, because for me, speaking about Cleveland personally, I find their whole team is always somebody's banged up, somebody's banged up, somebody's banged up. So if Harden's there getting continuity with who's ever there at the time, I actually like the trade. What are your thoughts, Cy? And
Okay.
then
So
you, Mark.
I kind of like the trade a lot. Right. So okay, you're taking the ball out of Mitchell's hands as a point guard
Mhm.
because Garland's always out. So now you got to have Mitchell doing dual duty, right?
Yep.
Dual duty. Harden always plays. He always plays, man. He likes to play. Now in the playoffs, he might not show up, but he always plays,
You're
bro.
gonna be
Now
out there
he gonna be out there. You got two lob threats. Now what Harden can do is run that pick and roll,
like it's nothing.
now he got two lob threats as long as those two are out there. You know what I'm saying? Your two bigs.
Yep.
Um, I feel like they just felt like they were stuck in the mud. We got to make a change. We gotta shoot. We just gotta shoot our shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's who that's who they felt they could get to replace. the lack of production they're getting from Garland because he's not there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, I don't like how they went from a defensive team to an offensive team with their last few moves. But you know what I mean? If you're gonna do that, go with Harden, who's an ultimate offensive player. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like him swinging for the fence with Harden. I don't know if it'll work, but that's what they're trying to do.
And real quick, they did bring in two defensive bench players to counter that in Schroeder and Thomas Bryant. Schroeder's getting a little long in the tooth, but he still at least should be scrappy. And Thomas Bryant is a try hard guy, but he can do that new center thing at about 6'10". He can stretch out and occasionally hit the three. So they were at least conscious of that.
Right. I don't like losing Hunter when how they lost Hunter before.
I don't either. I like Hunter, but tell me, because I watched Hunter a lot because he was one of those guys who came in as more of a defensive guy when he was in Atlanta. I thought he went a little too far on the opposite way lately. When I've been watching him play, he kind of got a little gunner in him when he learned how to shoot a little bit. And so to me, I almost felt like when Hunter was in, depending on who was in, he'd bring their offense to a crash because he was going to try to get us off.
I think so too, but I think it's because they don't have enough aggressive guys.
At that forward spot, I'll take that.
Mobley's unselfish. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hey, he had 40 the other night.
He did.
Oh,
He
he
yeah.
had 40 the other night.
But
But
he's an
yes,
unselfish
yes,
guy.
yes. And Allen can't score.
And Allen can't score. And you got who Max Struess, who ain't
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
no, no.
you know,
I'm with you. I just like I said that was just a Hunter critique. That wasn't. No, I still was with you. I didn't want to lose him. I just didn't like the way he had fell too far into running into his offense more than
right,
still being that defensive stopper he was known for.
right, yeah. I mean, but I do like it. You know what I'm saying? I like how they're just trying something. You know, you gotta. They looked at that roster and they don't think they can make it with that roster. That's what they're trying.
And we're gonna back and forth this. So Myra, go ahead and give your what. Go ahead, which how you feel because you didn't like it.
I
We
did
need to
not.
see your opposite. So why didn't
I,
you like it?
I really didn't like it. I didn't like it, and I know we're getting up there, and our short and long term memories ain't what they used to be. So let me remind y'all about James, Mister Harden.
Okay,
First 10 years, he arguably the best player on the court at any given time. Can we all agree?
that's fine.
All right. Uh, I said, cool. I was like, okay, cool. If he keep this up, Harden's gonna be one of them ones. That Harden's tough because you could there was nobody that could stay in front of him. You couldn't guard him. He was doing everything. Since then, this man has quit on 4 teams and folded in 6 playoff appearances.
Yeah, I can't now. I cannot argue with the. I don't. He has not quit on 4 teams. He quit on 1.5. Because Kyrie quit first before he was like, I don't want to play either. If it's just gonna be me and KD.
Let
But
me break it down.
uh,
in Houston, he got Dwight Howard. That didn't quite work out,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Then he got Chris Paul.
yeah,
That could have worked. Chris Paul hurt his hamstring, and then all of a sudden, Harden wants out.
yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why he ever wanted. I never found out why. They gave up all the picks to bring in Russell Westbrook, which seems like it would have worked.
Mm-hmm.
But in Game 4, I think the Lakers. I think he went 2 for 11, 2 for 11. Game over, series over. And he shows up the next season looking like he ate Russell Westbrook,
He wanted out.
and their man demands a trade.
Yep.
Quit.
Yeah.
They quit.
Yes.
They trade him to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
That team looks scary, right?
On paper, we never saw
that
it.
big three looks scary, right?
On paper.
Kyrie, I think, turned his ankle.
And also didn't want to follow COVID procedures.
Harden hurt his ankle or knee or something. Or no, Harden hurt his hamstring. Kyrie hurt his ankle. Didn't want to do the procedures, COVID procedures. I think Harden came back for Game 5. I'm gonna go light on him, but he was 1 for 10, and then in Game 7 he went like 5 for 17. Or earlier in the next season, demands he quit. I'm on out. I want out.
Kyrie, I
And
think
then
Kyrie was still bulling. Like I'm saying,
and then
Kyrie's still
he said, I
bulling.
want out. The Philly owner threw him a bone. First playoff series, I think they gave him. They got a game 6 at home. He goes 4 for 16, 3 for 11 in game 7. Then he goes to China, screams at a bunch of little kids talking about Daryl Morey. He's a liar. I don't want to be here. Quit number 3.
Okay. But hey,
Now,
it matters if dudes are lying to you. I mean, because hey, we don't want to play pro team, right? So if people are capping and lying to you, you ain't cool with that. But I won't
I,
take that away. Go ahead, go ahead.
all right,
You quit.
Clippers trade for him. Uh, First year in the playoffs, like put that 2 for 12, then 5 for 16 in game 5 and 6. Then last year, game 7 goes for 2 for 8. They chose to give this man an extension. I don't know why. The Clippers finally started turning around this year and started winning. I think they won the last time I checked. They had like 16 or 17 out of the last 20. They're 10th or 10th or 9th or 10th, but they won. They're up. They're coming up. They're playing good.
Yeah.
Months after right now or right before the trade deadline, this dude he didn't want to show up for work. To me, how do you go? You don't want to show up to work. You go to the Arizona State game. You right down the street from where your team playing. Talking about, I want out. I'll demand a trade. You can't win with this guy. He's an all-time great player, but he's also an all-time quitter and an all-time great choker. And that's
I
going to be his legacy.
I cannot argue with the playoff stuff. That I cannot do. During the regular season, I think this will help you. As always, I've got to, we have to go back and be fair. So when I look at what Cleveland finished out with for them, Garland, he shot 42% and 34 from three, including some 2 for 7, 1 for 5, 0 for 6, 4 for 16, 3 for 11 performances. So I say this: James Harden is known for playoff failures. That goes directly to the end game of where this conversation matters at. So I have to concede that I can't argue with what your problem is going to be. I know for a fact James Harden has a high crap the bed probability, and I don't know that Darius Garland does. I just know as of right now, I don't know that it matters if Darius Garland's going to be hurt and going to be out or not, or going to even be like last year when even him and Mitchell, remember, they came back, they tried. Then the next game we looked up, they couldn't play, they were out. You know what I mean? So that's going to be the same thing as, as James Harden out there with 10 turnovers, one of the mysterious games that he likes to have. But I
Right.
know availability is better than anything. And so like I said, I'm stuck with them both, but I still leaning in this. We're trying to think about winning something. And when you have to win in the playoffs, I don't know that he's that guy. Luckily, this is his deepest team to do it with. And if everybody else is healthy and James Harden's the only one that's going to show up with his pants loaded, I don't think it'll matter if everybody's healthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just hard for me. I like I said, the first 10 years, man, I was riding with him. It's just hard for me to overlook the
The playoff stuff. No, no,
the
no.
play.
That playoff
I
stuff matters.
I get it. Okay, let's go back to Philly real quick. Some of that's Embiid
Yes,
because
and B, yes, that's what I'm saying.
You gonna bring
I
it
think
up?
I think I think the Philly was in V was BSing and not being there, and then the Kyrie one. So, like I said, I give him two.
To me,
He does
Embiid's the
have
same
four.
player.
He does have literal four, but I think in his shoes, only two of them you would have blamed him.
because I think you went to game 6 and 7. I think game 5 he had 40 something.
He did. He blew up on that game. Yeah, I wrote it down in case
Okay.
somebody. I
Now
wrote
game
all
6
his
and 7,
playoff stats down.
yeah, game 6 and 7, yo MVP of the league, you gotta win
And
that.
he was bad. And B, I think averaged teens for
And
that series or something crazy.
To
on that.
me,
If that was his MVP season, Embiid was awful during the playoffs.
and to me, they're the same player because to me,
I'm okay with that.
Embiid,
Yeah.
Embiid quits a lot. Or not
I'm
quit,
okay
but
with that.
he lets you down. To me,
Remember,
Embiid is the
we're
same
we're
player.
KU fans. I'm
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
Embiid had, we have a love hate relationship.
Ultimate underachiever.
Yes.
One of the biggest underachieving big men.
It's almost like Shaq's story. If somehow between his feet and back being suspect, if that's not just conditioning related, he should have been up there with Elijah Wan. Remember, this dude actually had a jump shot. I mean, a
Yeah.
real jump. Like like
one of
imagine
the
Carl
first ones.
Anthony. Imagine
One
Carl
of
Anthony with some backbone.
yeah,
Right.
one of the first real big men that quasi changed the game and pushed it beyond the free throw line. To
Yeah.
me, that was
Yeah,
consistent with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
You can put them all in the same boat. I put all those guys. They need leaders with them.
there
Kyrie,
you go.
Westbrook, even Durant, Harden. You can go down the list. Who won without Steph or LeBron on their team?
Yeah,
How
Yeah,
many of y'all won something without Steph or LeBron on your team?
yeah,
And now you're just mix and matching them. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And maybe Cleveland thinks, okay, we got Donovan Mitchell. Maybe it'll be different. Maybe Harden's older. He's really trying to win. Maybe it'll be a different story. I just think they're swinging for the fences with it.
I do too, but like I said, he just gotta hope that Harden's gotta understand, dude. You know it's there. These guys can't. They can't. I don't care who. When they're sleep alone at night, that stuff comes to them. Even if they say, "Hey, I know it's not real. I've got all these games I lean on." You can't stop saying, "But game 6, game 7, what happened, man?" We can't always attribute it to, "Oh, it wasn't my night." Well, that just happens to be all the time, not your night. I mean, something's in you. Even if you really have the balls to do it, somehow your blood is curdling. You know, something's going wrong.
Right.
Anyway, over to Golden State. Myrick, you can jump on that one first. You moved. You did have like every. I think everybody was okay with saying you have to move Kaminga because everybody hates it here. He wants out. Y'all don't want him. You weren't going to play him unless you had to. And Moody got banged up for a second. But I still think of it when I look at it like this. I lose Kaminga, who I don't care if you want to get traded if you're under contract, homie. If I've got it, if we because this team is old and we talked about at the beginning of the season, any given situation, somebody's gonna break down. Jimmy did. So now
Mhm.
you're gonna get to play. You did play, you got a little banged up, but we'll wait for you. Come on back. We're gonna have you in the rotation. You and Moody be able to do something, this Melton, and we'll do something. But instead, you go ahead and you bow down to what you had to do, which is fine, and you say, well, we're gonna get rid of Kaminga and Hill's big T. Well, you brought in a dude who actually can't help you, is at least what we've learned over the last 2 years. If somehow he bounces, you get 3 year back Porzingis, cool. If you get what Kabinga is, he's out now. If you get hurt Porzingis with this weird issue he's got, then you actually only hurt your team. Because we know you would, even if you say, well, we don't play Kaminga, you play Buddy Hield. You play
Yep.
Buddy Hield.
Yep.
So you
Yep.
still, even if it was just a rotational seventh man, you gave up a player for a non-player
Yep.
and in a spot that you need. Because if Porzingis can play, good God, once again, this helps this team a lot. I ain't talking no championship, but a completely healthy Porzingis really helps this team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does change it, and I'm with 100%. I don't have any disagreement with what you said. It's and like we going back to what we all said at the beginning of the season, they're an injury away from this thing going bad, going south. Who's going to get hurt first? Who's going to get hurt for the longest? Stay hurt, and it just so happened to be Jimmy Butler, your all star, one of your other your other scorer basically, and pretty much at this point. He's a little engine like he gets buckets. This is what he did. Um, I don't agree with the Kaminga trade. I think he could have stayed there and they built off of that. At the end of because I don't I think this season is they maybe get. I don't know if they're even close to getting in the playoffs, but this season they would have had to overhaul. It something would need to be done, and whether it's that's let go of uh, Mr. Flagrant Foul or
Mhm.
keep uh keep Curry and build and like oh this is our legacy guy. He's gonna be here till he wants to be here, till he doesn't want to be here. But we're gonna build around Kaminga and get some draft picks in here or through trade and build the team back up. The team wasn't trading Kaminga away bad. It's not the Golden State was not. They were winning games and pulling off wins with this team. I think they just moved the wrong pieces to me. And that's just to keep it simple. That wasn't a piece I would have moved.
Yeah.
Um, man, for some reason I don't know why they just don't like Kaminga, which to me he's exactly what you need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But saying, oh well, he don't fit the offense with Steph. Okay, well Steph's what 37, 38. Change the offense a little bit, tweak it, and make it to where he can work with Steph or
Yeah.
whatever your excuse is. You
Jimmy
know what I
Butler
mean?
was technically a slasher.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all
they
he
just
did.
they just didn't like him. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's a bad trade, man. Porzingis, he's not the good Porzingis. Yeah, you're not getting that. You're
Yeah.
not.
I don't think it's ever coming back. I
It's
don't think
not.
it's ever coming
No,
back.
bro.
Unfortunately,
It's
it's
not
not ever
happening.
coming back.
I don't understand what they're doing, bro. I'm baffled by this one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Um. Actually, you know what? I have talked as we talked about the Boston one. As we went on with this conversation, I've changed my mind. Now I've got an issue, and I've got a couple guys that I have no idea who they are, but they still don't hurt my take from what I'm looking at. Boston got rid of their sixth man, Simon, and they brought in Vucevic. And so when I looked at him, I was like, you know what? You guys play high level defense. Neemias Queta works out perfect for you because he gives you that kind of just old school center type of dude and that lob threat. That's all he kind of is because he shoots no threes. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, it works out good. You got Hauser coming in gunning because that's all he does is shoot threes, and he's not a center. He's just tall. And so I really thought it helped. But now that I looked, I was like, all right, fine. They have this Baylor Sherman guy that they enjoy, and they also have a Hugo Gonzalez, who was their first round pick, who's 6'6", 200 from actually, he's foreign, so it does not say where he's from. And then Baylor Sherman was a first round pick from Creighton last year,
Yep.
who they're going to try to get going, who also is 6'6". So they've got these forwards. So I was like, fine, they're going to try to work in these guys. Vucevic is at least that new age center. He's expanded his game. He shoots between 37 and 40% a given year on threes, and so that way you get your Al Horford back. Um, so I actually think with where Boston is and how they're playing, and they weren't even supposed to be this good, I think Vucevic actually helps them, and I don't think they'll lose. I don't think the Simons is going to be a loss at all.
Drop off.
Yeah,
You
drop
don't think?
off. I don't think it'll be a drop off at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the Boston move.
Okay. And last but not least, then, since we're comfortable on Boston, Cy, Myrick, if you don't mind, Cy wasn't here last week. I don't like punishing people, even though he's one of our mainstays. So, and it's my boy, Cy. Even though they lost the other day, your Knicks have won 8 of 10. They are comfortably battling with the Celtics for second place, and I think you guys are deep enough to overtake them. Go ahead and give us a little Knicks summation if you want.
So okay, Landry Shamet is back and playing. He changed the team,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Landry Shamet
He won a
changed the
game
team.
last week.
He hits the three. He plays defense. He has an element that we need. Now we did lose McBride for a while, right?
I think he's out for the rest of the year
Yeah,
till the
Mm-hmm.
playoffs. Excuse me.
yeah. But we got Jose Alvarado.
Yes.
So,
Mr.
I
Sneaky Steel.
hey, he's from New York. You got him and Cat can eat together and do whatever they want to do together. And I'm excited, bro, because I was losing confidence because we just looked like they weren't with Mike Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, but he's kind of got them back together and they kind of calm the waters. And even though Cat still ain't his offense still isn't hitting,
Yeah.
OG stepping up, Bridges is stepping up, and like I said, Shamit is doing his thing. So I think Boston's gonna be tough, man, because Jalen Brown's a problem, but um, I
And
think
team
we can.
defense.
Yeah, man, and Jalen Brown is on a mission to prove he's the guy. Um,
He's doing
so
good at it. He's
Yeah,
doing
he
good
yeah,
at
is.
it.
yeah.
Yeah, he
I,
is. Yeah, he
he's
is.
doing.
So yeah,
Yes.
so I mean they're a problem, but I think the Knicks can hold it together and make a run. You know what I mean? For I don't know that number one seed, but for that two seed because Detroit is gonna lock that. I think.
Okay. I agree with that.
I agree with it. I watched the game the other night, the Denver and when it was a double overtime game, and
Yes.
they impressed me. Knicks being the Knicks impressed me with the guys that came off the bench. Like you said, Cat still. I watched it and I didn't know. I don't know what's up with his offensive. I don't know if they're. It didn't seem like it doesn't seem like they're taking it or he could take advantage of anything in the post, and he just kept settling for outside shots. Or
Yep.
I don't think he wants to go in the post, but
Yep.
that looks like what's going on. So I don't know. I haven't seen enough of them, but it just looked like that's what was going on.
Yeah.
They just won on the last 2.2 second shot.
Yep.
Uh, yep.
Cool.
North Carolina beat Duke,
Oh, okay. Okay.
At the buzzer.
buzzer beater.
Cool. Real quick, two more things. First, to touch on KU, they overcame those two games we were worried about, beating BYU and Texas Tech in a kind of ugly game. That Texas Tech, we there was a couple weird calls in that game, but I'm not going to get into that. And then today we beat Utah 71-59. So Big Monday is here. If one of you guys want to break it down, you can. If not, just we got Arizona, and then on the 14th we got Iowa State again. So does anybody give? Well, now, yeah, defensively we got to. I'll give us a for defensive sake. I'll give us a 40% chance against Arizona. But it's been working out being non-optimistic. So I'm gonna stick with the sad sack routine, and hopefully we surprise me. But we are third in the Big 12, tied for second. There's two of us there. But anyway, dude, what do you got? Cy, what do you think? You gave us a chance against Arizona.
Um. Yeah, I give him a chance against Arizona. For coaching. As far as okay, I got a quick take. Okay, I didn't give KU a chance this year, but I also thought the Big 12 was better than it is.
Okay.
So I don't think the conference is as good as what people were making it out to be. And I think once Bill Self realized that these teams aren't as good because KU still what we think they are, they're
Yeah.
still weak in the paint and all that. But if you're going to play small ball with small big guys, he can defend that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He'll scheme it up. So once Bill Self realized, nah, I can I can hang with these dudes. He has them confident, right? Iowa State's big guy is a 6'8" center. BYU didn't play big.
Mm.
None of them are playing big. If you're not gonna play big, you're not gonna beat KU. They have a good enough defensive team that if you're not gonna beat them with size, they're gonna give you problems, right? And
Yeah.
I thought some of these teams, I thought BYU was going to play big boy ball. They didn't. They tried to play on the perimeter and do all that. Arizona is the team that I think that will play that big boy ball. So it might happen like I thought some of those other games would, even Texas Tech. Um,
Uh,
Topping.
yeah, they stopped going. Now I don't know if that was coaching or not, but they didn't top it. They kept the ball out of top. Self kept the ball out of Toppin's hands. To
Right, but
me,
Toppin still plays a game of little floaters. Let me get within 8 to 10 feet and shoot little floaters. That's what Flory wants to defend.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
You ain't about to just flip up a little floater over.
He gonna
You
get
gotta
7 blocks
bang him.
on you like he did against Utah today.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Like so, the teams that they've lost to, the North Carolina, the Duke, the UConn, all those teams, they play big, strong basketball, and that's what Tiller. They can't handle that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I think Arizona will. I think Arizona's gonna play that style of ball, which they do that to everybody anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's just how they play.
Gotcha.
So, we'll see. I give them a chance because I think they're confident, and once you get a confident team, if they hit the threes, they can keep it close.
True. True. Mark, you got anything?
I do. I think role players matter, and like the keyword, what you just said, confidence. I think they gained a lot of confidence, and they keep gaining a lot of confidence due to the fact that with Peterson's health issues, staying on the court, that everybody, and we said it, we all said it, everybody's had to elevate their game more. It gives them more of a sense like, okay, I think it's getting in their head like this guy's not going to be here. I can play too. I can do this thing. I'm here for a reason, and I think that that's coming out. Like everybody's kind of falling in the line. If you look, everybody has something that they're good at that's out there on the floor. The key guys. So I think that's we're watching it over these last 4 games come to fruition. Like, okay, he doesn't have to be DP doesn't have to be out here on the floor for us to win this game. It works when he's out there, thank God. But if he's not, we can play too. There's something we can do. We're just not gonna hang our heads and like we're just out here. So with Arizona, like Sai said, if they play big boy ball and big boy KU, which they're probably looking at now, um, they're it's going to be tough for KU. And I don't think from what we see now, I'm going to roll back and I'm going to say there's not going to be a team that's going to walk over KU throughout. I don't think they might slip up, maybe have a mental lapse or something, but there's no team that I see walking over KU. Um, I like oh man, Council. Uh he's picked up his game. He's a little spark plug. He's an energy guy like Budinga. Um he's just it's just we don't know what we're gonna get yet. He's not consistent enough to just hand him the keys. But overall, I like from the beginning of the season where we're at now, I'm satisfied with what they're putting out on the court right now.
One more thing, for to defend the paint, they give up a lot of threes, man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Texas Tech missed them. They
Mm-hmm.
just they just
And remember, Texas Tech didn't have their the little guard in the game.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're
He
all
was cool.
American basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I won't use that. That's still a big win going on the road and winning. But they give up a lot of threes, bro. So they've been getting a lot of these games are home games right now, right? A lot of these big games are home games. Even Arizona's a home game.
Yeah.
I think the only one they've gone on the road recently is the Texas Tech, right? Everybody else has been at home.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to start hitting those road games, the Iowa States, I don't know if they go to Houston or what.
Yeah. And luckily
But
those are back to back because if like you're saying, if we get the home cooking with Arizona and surprise the world, then Iowa State turns around and puts you in a pressure position because it's like, hey, you didn't blow your wad out there, did you? Because now we want our get back.
Yeah.
right. So you can't, that's why dude from BYU went off. You
Yeah.
giving up a lot of threes. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh
So
yeah, he did. The
they
other guy
sell
from
out. They
Yeah.
sell out in the paint and they give up the three, and that's just how they're living. Like, man, we don't want to get beat up in the paint, but Arizona can do both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They can punish you in the paint even when you're selling out in the paint and hit all the threes. So they could get walked, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's a home game. So when it's a home game at college, you know what I mean, they can keep it close too. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least, we'll just give our Super Bowl predictions. We won't get all into it. I'm sticking with the NFC. I've had the NFC this year, so I want to get as close as I can to my take. I had the Rams. So since the Rams lost Seattle, I'm going to slide over and get with Seattle. Mark,
I'm sticking with Seattle.
got you. Si?
I'm gonna go opposite. I'm gonna go Patriots.
Okay. Okay. All right. For you, since you got opposite, what's the game plan look like to pull that off?
I think it'll be I think the defense will match Seattle's defense.
Okay. All right. And Sam
What is it,
Darnold
Patriots?
will fall victim.
I don't know if he'll wet the bed. I just think,
So 3 point, it just do basically just come down at the end.
yeah,
Their defense held
yep,
a little tighter.
yep, yep.
Does anybody score over 28 points? 24. Does anybody get over 24 points? I say no. I say the
I
winner
don't.
might.
If it gets up there, New England ain't winning. Ain't winning
Okay.
that.
All
That's
right.
fair to say. That's fair.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah.
First to 24 wins. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody got anything this week? Cy, you're feeling healthy. Myrick, everything good with the fam?
All good. All good.
Everybody
All good.
good? All
Yep.
Yep.
right. Anybody got anything before we go?
Nope. We got a lot of trials coming up. I'll let everybody know.
Okay. All right. This has been the RSB signing off. I holla.